Before we even start, you need to know if you have hooded eyes. Look down, okay? Is your eyelid still there? Do you see how this flap of meat completely covers this eye space here? Okay, so my eyes are hooded. And if you attempt to do makeup tutorials and you're using YouTube and you're trying to follow everybody and what they're doing, you know it is a struggle. So I'm going to give you some things that you can do and some tweaks that you can make in your eyeshadow application that might help open up your eye space and make your eyes look brighter when you're looking directly at someone. One of the first things that I do, I always raise my eyebrow. That's going to open up your eye space. That's going to give you more room to play with eyeshadow and dimension. Ruby Kisses Rich Chocolate Brown Brow Pencil. I cleaned up my brows before I started. My natural brow, if all of my hair was here, the point would not be this high. The point would be somewhere down here, and it makes my eyes look smaller and even more hooded. So I shaped them, and I did take off the ends of my brow so that I can raise them. I'm going to start to fill in my brow. You can see right off back that opens up my brow space, okay? That opens up my eye space, I should say, to give me more room to play around with eyeshadow, because what you're doing basically when you have hooded eyes is highlighting and contouring, just like you do your face, to add dimension where you need dimension, and that wherever you make something push back, it's going to make the other part push forward. I'm going to try to focus more so on this eye for the tutorial. I have the shape that I want, so now I can take in the darker pencil and fill it in how I need it to be. So we end up with a shape that looks like this. Now we can go ahead and take some foundation. I'll be using Black Opal's liquid foundation. Putting that on a small concealer brush and clean up my brows. So for this tutorial, guys, pretty much every product that we use is going to either highlight our eye or contour our eye. It's all about where you place the product. You have to kind of figure out where your fake crease is. I definitely don't have a crease, but I do have a space where I can feel my eye socket. So I'm going to place eyeshadows above that, and that's going to help my eye look bigger. So with this foundation, I'm going to bring this down to right where you can see that my fake crease, okay? I'm taking my eyeshadow primer from Ruby Kisses, and I'm just going to put a bit of that on my eye. I'm going to take my NYX pencil, Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I'm going to put this on our eye, right on the lid that we're going to make it. But you don't want to go into the concealer. You want to stop before you get to the concealer. So now you can see how, if I were to wear this outside, even though it looks crazy, you can see my eyelid because we have two different contrasting colors. When we get to where the concealer and the Jumbo Pencil meet, we're not going to blend them harshly together, just really softly. So you should have something that looks like this. Okay, now remember in my last tutorial I told you guys that I had something to tell you in the next tutorial. So we all know my makeup tutorials ain't sponsored by nobody yet. But I wanted to show you guys these eyeshadow palettes that I got from an app called Hush. So I was able to get these 3 eyeshadow palettes from them. They were either $8 or $9. Them are from a company called Okaline. Look like this. So you can see this one is more of a earth tone palette. You get the warm colors in here. This is the next palette. You get a little more mixture of the colors. You get 2 of the earth tone shades. You get some greens and blue. This is the last palette. I guess this one is supposed to be like a dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to use my finger, and I'm going to take this shadow called Golden Ochre. I'm going to use that to set the concealer and the Jumbo Pencil in place. That's going to help your eyeshadow application so much. Whenever you use a creamy product like a concealer or a paint pot, you want to set it so that when you put the brush on your eye with the eyeshadow, you'll just glide across. I know one of the biggest rules in makeup is no harsh lines, but for us the harsh line creates a crease, okay? So we don't want to exactly blur out our harsh lines just yet, okay? We're going to use them to mimic or make a mock crease. Now from one of the Cobalt palettes, I'm going to take the color Jam, which is this beautiful orange shade. I'm going to place that on the 224 brush and we're going to start to blend. I'm sticking this brush between or inside of where I can feel my crease, and I'm placing it on the outside of my eye first before I go in, because I want the concentration of the eyeshadow to be on the outer edge of my eye. That's going to make my eye look bigger. So I'm placing it here with a gentle pressure, and I'm just blending that back and forth, and I'm keeping it in this area. I'm not going up just yet. When I get to the end of my eye, I'm going to flick it out. If you have hooded eyes, it helps to flick out your eyeshadow at the end, because that's going to make your eye look lifted instead of droopy and more closed. And I am following the guide of my eyebrow. Okay, that's important. You want to follow, you don't want to go across, you don't want to go over, you want to follow the guide of your brow. When you get to this side of your eye, you don't want to bring your brush down. You want to bring your brush closer to the bridge of your nose. That's going to help your eye appear even more open, okay? So again, it's all about where you place the product. So don't go crazy with the windshield wiper motion. Actually pay attention to where you are moving that brush. More so like that, at least for my eye shape, okay? It's also very important to keep your eye open, because that's what you want your eye to look like. Keep your eye open when your eyebrow raised and open when you put these eyeshadows on, okay? So once I can tell that some of the product is gone off of my brush, I can start to move my brush up just a little bit, and that's going to make it appear gradient when we start to apply some of the other eyeshadow colors. So I'm going back in, I'm going to keep building that color and intensity until I get it how I want it to. So same thing, just adding a little bit of eyeshadow at a time. Another key to having a bomb makeup application for hooded eyes is your brushes and their size, okay? So I might be able to get away with this MAC 224 brush. Somebody else, this might be too big for their eyes, so you might want to switch to a smaller, fluffier brush. 221 brush. This is a much smaller brush, but it's still fluffy. It's not very, very dense. And that's going to help me get into my fake crease, whereas this brush would not. I'm also going to switch to a much darker color to add shade to my eyeshadow and add dimension, get deeper, so that this appears more pushed back, which will make my lid appear more pushed forward, okay? So I'm going to use the Cobalt palette and the color Icon. I'm going to pick that up on the 224 brush, and I'm going to do the same exact thing, but I'm going to bring my brush down lower than where we put the color Jam. I'm going to start at the end and concentrate the brush in where I can feel my socket. As I get to the end, I'm going to flip the brush upward and just follow that same guideline of my brow. If you have really small eyes, I would suggest that you don't bring the color all the way in. Maybe stop 2/3 of the way, because it's going to make your eye appear closed. Now I'm going to take that same brush, same color, and I'm just going to focus it on the outer corner. So far it looks like this, guys. I'm going to pick up a MAC 224 brush again with Jam. I'm adding just a little bit more to the brush, and I'm going to go back over this color because we lost a little bit of the orange. Now for the fun, I'm using my MAC Archie's Girls palette. This one is Spoiled Rich. This is an old palette, and I don't think you can get it anymore. But I want this purple. Using that same 224 brush. And I'm going to focus that on my fake outer V. Because this is a fluffy brush, it's not very dense, so it's not going to pack on a lot of color. So you can alternate between this brush and a flat shader brush. Also going to put some in the inner corner because this is going to be a halo eye. And now that we have some of that color off of the brush, we can start to connect it just a little bit. Be careful not to go above the orange, the Icon. I'm going to switch to the flat shader brush, take that same purple color, and just place that at the outside of the eye. Now you can see some of the intensity of the purple. Put some on the inner corner as well. Try not to go up too high. Leave some of that blended out purple at the top. I'm going to take this shade next to the purple. I'm going to place that over top of the purple. I'm going to go back over those darker colors with the lighter purple. Take my MAC 221 brush and start to blend out the edges. Take that jumbo pencil, the NYX Jumbo Pencil, and melt and we're going to, you see this open space where it kind of looks like we have a eyelid now. We're going to put some more jumbo pencil there, and we're going to make our eye look even bigger, and we're going to go past our new eye crease. Take your time, be careful. It is makeup, so if you mess up, you can always start over. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, we're just going to take our finger and blend that out a little bit, but again, we're going above our eye crease. That way you can still see a bit of it when your eye is open. So you can see a major difference between this eye and this eye. This eye appears open. This one you can't see it as much because I haven't put on the jumbo pencil. Now I'm going to take Cobalt blue from MAC and use my same flat eyeshadow shader brush and place that right on top of the jumbo pencil. With the tip of my brush, I'm kind of creating a harsh line. Okay, this is going to give our eyes some shape. Okay, y'all see that? Look at this eye and look at this eye. We actually have an eye that you can see when you're looking at somebody. Now if I look down, the whole blue gonna disappear, but if I'm looking at you, it appears that my eyes are open. Now when you put down the blue, if you feel like you lost some of the purple, you can go back in and add a little more. So I cleaned off my flat brush, and now I'm going to take the color Shell to make my eye appear open. I'm going to place it right under the arch first. So I'm going to take this color Aura on the same brush, and I'm going to focus that color directly under my arch. Now that eyebrow is up, honey, like the rock. So now we got something like this. Add a little more oomph. I'm going to take MAC's Reflect glitter in Teal, and I'm put that on my finger. I'm just going to place that right on top of the MAC Cobalt blue. I'm going to wet my brush with my Mario Badescu spray, the same color we put under our brow, Shell. I'm going to pop some of that in my inner corner. I know it's a lot of steps, guys, but I'm telling you, this is all worth it. It's all about where you put these eyeshadows, okay? So now we got something like this, y'all. I am so happy. I've been wanting to do a hooded eyeshadow tutorial for the longest because my eyes are hooded, and it took me so long to figure out how to put eyeshadow on my eyes to make it look like what I was seeing on YouTube. And baby, it was not working out. So I'm just gonna take a wipe and clean up some of the fallout. So this is not a foundation tutorial, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my foundation, and then I'll be right back and we can finish off the eye look. So while I was doing my foundation, I was debating on whether or not I would do a wing line. But I am going to do a wing liner because it helps to give your eye more definition. You don't have to do it every time, but for this look, we will do a wing liner because the eyeshadow is a little dramatic. I'm going to take this eye pencil, Eyeshadow pencil from LA Girl Cosmetics, and the color is called Violet, and I'm just going to line my lid. I'm going to set it with the Cobalt blue from MAC, the eyeshadow. Guys, this is the completed look. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. I hope you learned something new that you didn't know already, and I hope this helps you apply your eyeshadow in a different way that will help your eyes appear bigger, and someone can see your eyelid when you're looking at them and you're talking and you're blinking. So that's it, guys. I will see you all in the next tutorial. I will list all of the products that I used in the description box. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel and share it with your friends, and hit the bell so that you'll get the notification when I do upload. Thanks for watching.